say be recorded. This will be, emailed to whoever registered. Um, and like I often end up typing that in the chat, but before, because sometimes people take a couple minutes to come on. If you want to just kind of get those things stated to fill up some time before you actually start, and introduce yourself. But I feel like you'll have, you don't have to wait too long for that.
Yeah, there were a few questions like which I already prepared, like a few Instagram questions and the one you have sent me on mail. So I'm going to first start with, as you said, like I'm going to just start the conversation by asking them like where they're from and all that stuff. And then I'm going to introduce myself, like what is my background and how I got into the sneaker this thing, how I became a sneaker student, and how I got interested in it. And then I will start the Q&A section like with them. So I hope that's okay.
Yeah, I would definitely, for your introduction, like, kind of like you did in that video interview, like, hey, how did you find it? What made you take it? Like, what courses you liked about it? What instructors? What assignments? And then, talking about like what you're doing now, like, the pencil competition and the other competitions you entered. I'm sure people will have questions like how that works. And then I would also say to just talk about your experience probably for like at least 15 minutes if possible. If not, then that's fine. You can move right to questions. 250 people registered, and we typically see like 20 to 30% come on live. So, you should.
Kind of scary.
No, you'll be good. So you'll have about like, 50 to probably 70 people live. So it'll be a nice group of people, I think, and um, I think you'll be good. But do you have any other
Yeah, so
questions?
the screen sharing part that I can control now. Like it should not be like if I'm sharing my screen, then it remains on the screen. Like when I stop sharing, it will stop sharing, right?
Right.
Oh,
Do you want to practice that real quick?
no, I actually know like how to do it. So I'm just asking like who's going to control that, because obviously it's my screen I'm going to control, but I was just like thinking that it should not get stuck in between. And so, for example, if I'm showing the video which you have sent me, and I just start going on like with the conversation and the video is stuck on the screen. So when I say when I like click on stop sharing, it will be like stop sharing.
Yeah. If you are going to show the video, though, you have to click yes, share audio, because otherwise the audio doesn't connect. So if you want to just try it real quick, share screen and then see what it's like, because there should be a pop-up that says share audio.
So I have the video open already.
Just to make sure. Okay, good. I can hear
Sneaker
it.
Essentials is an online course.
I don't see it, though.
I mean, you can hear that, right?
I could hear it, but I didn't see it.
I have already shared my screen. Now
Yeah, I can see your screen, but I think you might have shared. I don't know. The video's not. There it is. Yeah, you had to drag it up. There you go.
Okay, cool. I'll ask people like if they can see the video, and then I'll play it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so it's 11. You want to stop sharing your screen? It's 11:31. I'll go live now.
Okay.
If anything happens, I'm here, but otherwise I'm be muted. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, have fun. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think nobody has joined us yet.
Wait, sorry, I didn't go live yet. The Windows. Wait. Okay. Okay. My computer just froze.
Is there any specific time limit? Till what time I have?
No, there's not. I think I have to rejoin, so I'm just gonna leave for a second, okay?
Okay.
All right, so it's happening.
Hey, what's up? Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Sneaker School webinar. If I'm audible to you, please type a yes in the chat box so that I'm sure you can hear me. Okay, cool. Hi, Christina. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Megan. Dylan. We have Chrissy, Kimmy. Okay, cool. Samoy Brown. Hi. Louis. Hi. Joanne, Jamil. Welcome to the Sneaker School webinar. You guys made it on time, actually. It's sharp 10 by my time, and I think 11:30 by New York time. Hey, Lawrence. Hey, Allegra. Hey, Kiela. Hey, Hardik. Okay, so I think I'm audible, pretty much audible. So let us have a quick introduction and get to know each other while we wait for other people to join. So if you can guys drop a message in the chat box, like where are you guys from? What do you do? Are you a student, aspiring footwear designer? Like I would like to know who my audience is. So yeah, you can share that information. Hi, Irene. So any aspiring footwear designers? Okay, Kiela is from City. Okay. Lawrence is from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York. Dylan is a shoe customizer. That's awesome. Hi, Shoinka. There is Crystal from Boston. We have Chrissy from Canada. Okay, so I think we have a lot of people from different parts of the world. Jerome from Montreal, Canada. Okay, Christina is a marketing executive for a footwear company. That's awesome. Melanie, she's from New York, and she is a student. Okay. Well, good. I think we have a lot of people who have joined in, and we can actually start with the introduction. We have already done your introduction. Now it's time for me to do my introduction. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Disha Ved. I am your host and speaker for tonight. So well, night because it's 10 p.m. in India. I'm from Mumbai, India, and I'm a sneaker school grad, and I also work as a creative consultant. So I get asked a lot of times how I transition from being an apparel designer to sneaker designer. So I will tell you about my professional background in brief. So when I decided to choose a career after high school, I was preparing to be a doctor, frankly speaking, because everyone in India wants to be either a doctor or engineer, right? Like if there are any Indians, they would know what I'm talking about. So I mean, those are like two key professions on every parent's list. So and one can't blame them because those are like stable and lucrative career indeed. So yeah, but it turned out while preparing to get into the top med schools in India that I kind of lost interest in dissecting earthworms and rabbits and frogs because they all died. And by the way, they all died because I could not like stitch them back properly. So it's then when I realized like it's not my piece of cake, like medicine is not my piece of cake at all. However, I was good in making detailed microscopic diagrams and I could make them for hours without getting bored. So I thought, why not like try something in fine arts or maybe fashion? So I got a degree in fashion, and post that, like I started working in the fashion retail industry. So it's been a while. I have worked with various men's streetwear brands. Like I designed denims, t-shirts, and shirts, and everything which is like casual in menswear. So I've worked with both Indian and European brands, some Chinese brands as well, and I have handled UK buyers as well. So you can say men's streetwear is my area of expertise. However, I'm fairly new in the sneaker vertical, like some of you all must be over here. So my journey as a sneaker designer started in 2018 when I got introduced to Yellowbrick Sneaker School program, which was in partnership with FIT. So for those of you who don't know, it's Fashion Institute of Technology. It's one of the premium fashion colleges in the world. It's in New York. And the program was powered by Complex. So frankly speaking, in the beginning, I was a bit skeptical about enrolling into this program. I'm changing my career path altogether because there was a fear of, uncertainty. I was already in an established career, so taking such a huge leap, like it was kind of uncertain for me. But I am a risk taker and I like exploring different avenues. So I finally decided to enroll myself. I thought there is no harm in having an additional skill set. And I guess it was right decision at the right time. I'm sure every one of you will agree with me that one thing 2020 has taught us is that it is very difficult to depend on one skill for the rest of your life. Because so many people are getting laid off in different industries for cost reduction because of global pandemic. So, in my opinion, like one has to have alternative career options and have to be versatile for survival. So the program definitely like gave me a lot of confidence to not only be able to design sneakers, but also connected me with so many mentors in the sneaker industry from India and also internationally. So I would say it has been a smooth career transition for me so far, especially because I didn't really had to take a sabbatical in my existing career as a creative consultant, considering a sneaker school program is 100% online. So yeah, the program did open up a lot of new opportunities for me. Like they say, one thing leads to another. You just have to take your chances. So from starting the sneaker school program in 2018 to getting into Pencil Footwear Design Academy in Portland in early 2019, yeah, where I got to work on a sponsored project for brand Jordan. I think it was a great opportunity to be. It was a great opportunity to be able to present my final project along with my team in front of the industry people from brands like Nike, Jordan, Converse, and getting the first-hand feedback from them on your designs. It was the kind of experience and exposure that I never expected so soon. But like I said, I took my chances and it really paid off well. So the first sneaker I designed based on what I learned from sneaker school assignments got me to Pencil in early 2019. The second sneaker was a brand sponsored project for Jordan, which is the most idealized sneaker brand in the world, as you all know. And the third sneaker, which I designed, made it to the top four in the Puma World Sneaker Championship in 2019. So yes, I would say all in all, definitely, it definitely has been an incredible 2-year journey as a sneaker designer for me. Of course, there was a lot of in between hard work which I had to put in. There were sleepless nights and rejections and disappointments to name a few. But I guess a failure is like a part of the learning process. The more you fail, the more you learn. So we have to keep pushing our boundaries and try to be a better designer every day. So better than what we were yesterday. So today, besides being a full-time creative consultant, I'm trying to gather as much practical experience as possible in the sneaker industry. And I have a few sneaker-related projects in pipeline. I'm also helping a friend to launch his own sneaker brand. Although I'm not getting paid for it, but at the moment, like I'm not looking for that. So I guess just being involved in the whole process teaches us a lot. So that is my ideology basically. So yeah, that was all about me as a professional. And you all already told me, like some of you already told me, like what do you guys do and all. So as you all know, this webinar is an info session for people who want to be a part of the sneaker industry, but don't know how to start and where to start. So I'm here to answer your questions, and based on my personal experience and exposure I had in the past 2 years. So please feel free to ask questions in the Q&A section below. If you can see, there's a Q&A section at the bottom of the Zoom window. So, and don't be scared of asking, even if you think it's a very insignificant or small question. Maybe it can help you and others too, like in some or the other way. Those of you who don't have a question can actually listen and absorb the information which I'm sharing with others. So yeah, you can just tell me if you figure out where is the Q&A section. All right. I think everybody should be able to see the Q&A section. I already received 2 questions. Okay, so there were some questions I received on my Instagram account and on my email. I think I'm going to begin with them. Mm, yeah. So there was a question on my Instagram. The most common question which I get asked is from people who are passionate about sneakers as a product and aspire to get into the sneaker industry, but don't know where to fit in, because not everyone wants to be a designer, right? So how many of you think designing is not your forte, and like still you want to get into the sneaker industry and a part of it because it's so exciting to be a part of that industry, which is like always happening. It's so influenced by culture, hip hop and everything. So you can please raise your hands in the chat box. So if you think that designing is not your strength and still you want to be a part of the sneaker industry. Can I have a few hands over there? I'm sure there are many people who want to be a part of the sneaker industry, but okay. All right. So I can see quite a few people there. So I will tell you a wide perspective on the various career options besides wanting to be a designer, which is what most people aspire to be. Considering it's a cool thing to be able to design a fabulous pair of sneaker and set the next big trend. You can get into the manufacturing and production. Now, as boring as it may sound, production people are the people responsible for helping execute some of the greatest ideas. So I think, I would say designing and manufacturing, they always go in hand, and a shoe designer can design anything, but it's the production people who make sure that no matter how difficult your design is, it is translated as closely as possible from designer's sketch to the physical product, and also produced on time so that it is delivered to the store within the strict deadlines, like whenever the drops are planned, like every brand has planned their own drops, so based on that. So it definitely is a very challenging job, which always keeps you on your toes. So you're always exploring new technologies to, bring even the most difficult designs to life in the best possible way, and how to do the cost cutting and how to cut down the time span of like churning out the whole production thing cycle. So yeah, that is one option. You could also be a sneaker customizer. I would say a sneaker customizer. I think one person was a sneaker customizer over here. So I would say sneaker customizing comes very close to the sneaker designing, to sneakers designing. If you're an artist, or even if you are good in doodling, you can create your own versions of existing sneakers. Maybe collaborate with boutiques, local boutiques, or directly with the brands, or you can create your own online business on Instagram or Facebook. But don't forget to make prominent disclaimers, since there could be some legalities involved, like what brand product you're using for customizing. So you should always like mention the brand name over there, and like what was the original and how you have transformed it and customized the shoe. So yeah, well, if you're good in storytelling, you can be a part of brand strategy and marketing team. So the marketing team is responsible for efficiently telling your product story. Every shoe has a story, right? People who are interested in the sneakers over here, and even if those who are not that aware of the sneaker industry, like how it functions and how every design is made, like it is just for your knowledge, like every shoe has a story to tell, has a story to say. So the marketing team is responsible for effectively telling your product story, which can connect with your consumer. What was the origin of your sneaker for say, and what was the idea behind it? So marketing team definitely plays an important role in effectively conveying that to the consumer, and making the sneaker look more desirable, you can say, to own, yeah, by the consumers, to be owned by the consumers. Then you have sneaker media. Sneaker media is also an interesting option. If you're someone who is fully updated about the sneaker trends and the latest drops and how the new versions of classic sneakers are better or worse than the originals, and you like writing about it to influence or educate people, maybe to buy it or not to buy it. So you can be a great content creator over there and influencer on digital platform. So brands these days, they depend a lot upon social media influencers to promote their products and create a buzz, so that more people can buy their sneakers. So yeah, that is one option. And if you're a student and if you're not sure, like you would also be a product tester. Maybe some bigger brands let you take home like a few pairs for helping them test the performance of the sneaker. Yeah, and lastly, I would say there's another option. Like these are a few options which I'm stating. I'm sure there are many others. So like you can be a reseller also. So there is distribution and retail. If you want to be an entrepreneur, either you can start your own sneaker boutique or directly take brand store franchisee, or you can become a distributor. So being closest to the consumer, distributors have the capability to forecast the market trends, the buying trends of the consumer, like what the consumers are going to buy next season. So they have a good hold on that kind of information based on the numbers they have. So what will the consumer buy next season, like I said. So they take the first-hand feedback and information from the consumer and give it to the brands, which plays an important role to a certain extent as to how the marketing and designing team will plan then their next collection. So their information kind of influences the designing and what the future trend will be for the next season. So yeah, that is one option if you have that entrepreneur gene in you. So each department, be it designing, production, merchandising, or retail, is like a piece of the puzzle. So they all have to be pieced together properly to create a successful product. So although you want to choose to be a designer or work as a production guy, I think it is very important, in my opinion, it is very important to know how the other departments function. Because when you are working for a brand, you will not be working in isolation. You have to coordinate with other departments as well. So if you're not aware about the limitations or possibilities, your relationship with the team might collapse, which may affect your performance eventually. So if you are a designer and don't know the limitations of a production unit to bring your sneaker design on paper to life, either you will end up fighting or end up getting disappointed with the final results, thinking that it could have been better, which might not be the case. So yeah, so these different departments are there, which I discussed with you. And I think one of the biggest takeaways from the Sneaker School program was that I got to explore about all angles of the sneaker business in detail through different course modules. So yeah, that was one of the plus points. Well, I can show you a quick introduction video on what the course is all about. So I think you'll get a better clarity. Wait, let me share my screen with you. Just give me a second. I am sorry. Yeah. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, I'm going to just play this video and I hope you're able to see this video.
You have 1 year to complete the program, so you can take it at your own pace, wherever you're located. Additional features include a glossary of sneaker terms, a multimedia timeline of significant dates and events in sneaker history, and virtual factory tours that take you inside the manufacturing process. The course also includes self-paced learning activities and assignments to help you master the lessons and try your hand at something new. Some of the assignments include designing your own sneaker, creating a portfolio, and developing a marketing plan. To learn more or enroll, please visit yellowbrick.co/sneakers.
So I think you already saw. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So as you saw, Yellowbrick has created some great content. I mean, you have direct access to the industry people from Complex, StockX, and FIT. You have virtual factory tours. Also, you get to connect with students from all over the world through the Facebook group they have created and exchange ideas on your assignments, etc. So yeah, I think it is a great way to learn a lot about the different avenues of the sneaker industry, the different aspects of the sneaker industry. Okay, another question is, okay, I'm getting a lot of question. How do you start? How did you sign up for Pencil? I think I've already answered in the beginning. Yes, I think these questions will be covered. I mean, in my later conversation. There is one more question, like, what is the most important aspect of being a good sneaker designer? To start with, I would say, besides having good sketching skills, it is very important to have, firstly, a design philosophy. What do you wish to accomplish in your design? Because it influences how your consumer will respond to the end product. Your design should not make your consumer work. I mean, it should be, you can say, instinctive. You should be able to provide a solution to simplify and enhance your consumer's performance and comfort. So always remember that you are not designing for yourself. So don't take your own design assumptions as gospel and follow it, just follow it blindly. Secondly, innovation, what you are introducing in your sneaker, not only in terms of design and technology, but also in terms of sustainability. Are you a responsible designer? Because what product you design will directly impact the environment sooner or later. So innovation, I would say, is an important aspect because you don't want to redesign something which is already done by just making changes in the color or material or changing the branding placement here and there. So do your research, study what the brands are doing, see if there is a gap which can fill in with your design innovation to make their product better. So yeah, second aspect will be innovation. Thirdly, I would say, you can say inspiration. Now, inspiration can have different meanings for different people. If you ask me personally, I have a great influence of my culture in my designs. I believe culture is very, very powerful thing that influences much more than we often realize. So what is best in your culture that you can translate into your sneaker design and make a globally relevant product is very, very important. It will not only help your design idea resonate with your local community, but also be accepted as something new and exotic, which you brought to the table, rather than doing the same old stuff, which like maybe already there in the market. I personally believe that sports is a common sentiment across cultures, races, and continents. So in future, if you get to work with brands like Nike and Adidas, and if as a designer you can contribute a part of your culture through your designs, it definitely will not only create a powerful impact on future generations, but also it will promote acceptance and tolerance for each other's culture. I think you all will agree that post-COVID world, as we go forward, that is the only new mantra which will bind us together besides sport. So yeah, how well can you incorporate your cultural influences in your design is also very, very important. So these three aspects, I think, if you consider while designing a product, any product for that matter, not only shoe, is very, very important. Okay. How important is a degree to the success of one's career in this industry? Megan has asked this question. So Megan, I would say professional degree is important. Besides having a lot of experience which you can gain as a student as well while working for different brands. But I think professional degree will definitely make sure that if you're planning to take this career seriously and want to join any big brand, then it might be an added advantage. But not everything is like degree. I mean, it just goes like, these are like two parallel things. Like you should have a degree as well as you should have talent. So now talent is not something which you're born with. Like you have to like keep practicing and polishing your skills, and that's how you can polish your talent. And you know, you can have a degree also, and that can be added advantage for you if you want to pursue this seriously. And yeah, if you're planning to like get a job in a big brand, then definitely it does matter. How did you sign up for Pensol? So I got to know about Pensol through Instagram, and I badly wanted to go to that college because it's like, of course, it's one of the best colleges in footwear design and gives you a lot of exposure. And I was a little scared at the time because people from all over the world, they apply for that college, and it's a very difficult application process altogether, and their like screening processes are very difficult. I mean, whoever likes all the panel people in the panel like who select the applicants, like it goes through a rigorous process. So I was like, I want to go, but I'm not sure like if I'll be able to get through that. But I just tried my luck, and I think I got the confidence from whatever I learned from sneaker school assignments, like I said in the beginning of the webinar. So I'm very good in the apparel industry. Like I have a lot of experience over there and everything. But if you talked about the shoe or sneaker designing 2 years back, I was definitely not very confident about like how to draw a line, what are the proportions, and what are different categories of the shoe and the materials and everything. But I got an overall view from Yellowbrick program. I'm not exaggerating about it. So yes, based on that knowledge, I definitely planned my application and all, and that's how I got through. And I was lucky to get through Pencil, and it was a golden opportunity for me. Okay. Okay, so I received one question on my email today in the morning. Is the role of women in the sneaker culture insignificant? Well, until a few years ago, sneakers and streetwear was definitely a boy thing, both in terms of product variety available in various brands and also participation of women in the mainstream positions in the sneaker industry. So options available for women sneaker consumer was actually a concern because there were very few good options over there. Uh, Puma did notice this gap and tried to fill it by introducing Rihanna's Fenty Creeper. I don't know if you know about that shoe. That was a very popular shoe, and it was a women's sneaker that even men wanted in their sizes. So yeah, I think the gender line has blurred ever since, and representation and participation of women in sneaker culture is gradually increasing, I would say, both in the West and the East. So we have more sneaker brands tying up with women athletes and collaborating with women artists to take lead in the designing process. We have an example of Santia Deck. She's the founder of Tronus, who is the first woman athlete to own a sneaker company. Then we have Vasticola and Ali Ali May, some of the first women to collaborate with Nike on Air Jordans. In Asia, we have, there is Chistos Abe from Japan. She's the founder and creative director of Sakai. Now Sakai is tying up with a lot of sneaker brands, like big sneaker brands, and making some amazing collections. They're coming up with some amazing collections. They already have done a couple of collections, which are, you can just check on the internet if you would like after this webinar. So at home in India, we have athlete Hima Das, an Asian Games gold medalist who has an Adidas shoe named after her. So I would say that the role of women in the sneaker culture is not insignificant because there is a lot of awareness created by women athletes and artists internationally. So, I mean, if you are a woman and a sneaker enthusiast, don't let the thought that the city or country you live in don't have women in the mainstream sneaker business hold you back. Like, don't let the thought hold you back. You can be the first one to break the taboo. Maybe you can change the mindset of others in the process. So yes, that's about it. And okay, so talking about collaborations, what are your favorite collaborations from this year's releases or favorite drops? If you can just write in the chat box quickly. Don't write it in the Q&A section. You can just type it in the chat box. I want to know like what are your favorite sneaker drop and sneaker releases this year, and what are your favorite collaborations? Like mine would be besides Beyonce Ivy Park an Adidas collaboration. There is Travis Scott into Nike Air Max 270. Like I like the organic colorway, and then we have Stussy and Nike Spiridon KH2. We also have Off-White into Air Jordan 5, to name a few. So what are your favorite sneaker? Okay, can I have a few answers over here? The Off-White 5s, 02 Nike, Zaun into New Balance, I love the melody. Ehsani into Air Jordan collabs. Okay, cool. Off-White Jordan 4, Kimi says. All right. So I see a lot of Jordans over there. Dior Jordan 1. I see a lot of Jordan fans over here. Like obviously for obvious reasons, that's like the best, the most idealized brand in the world. We have, okay, first one, Fire Moss and Reebok. Like somebody said Reebok. Joe Fresh goods into New Balance, Jordans and Ease again. Okay. So yeah, I think we have a lot of sneaker heads over here. Interesting choices, by the way. I want to pick up those shoes like when I travel next to US or Europe. Like they are available online, some of them, but it's very difficult to like purchase online, and because there are a lot of duties and taxes added to it, so it becomes very expensive. So I think next year when I get to travel, I will definitely buy a couple of them if I get it in my sizes. Like I mostly pick up like boys sizes because some of the men's sneaker I really like, but I don't get it in the women's sizes, and my feet is like very small. So I fit into US size 4.5, boy size. So I pick up those sizes and wear those shoes. So it's kind of good for me. Okay, we have, what advice or professional tip would you give someone who is just starting out? Okay, I would say practice every day, even if it's just for an hour. Be consistent. Like I am very consistent when it comes to like learning something new. In this case, like sneakers. So although I'm working as a creative consultant, I make it a point like I take out like at least half an hour, maybe 1 hour, whenever I get the time in the day, and do some sketching, some other or do some kind of research. Okay. Uh, am I audible to you? I'm not sure if. Okay, PG says okay. I was a little confused. So yeah, practice every day, and when you get up every morning, be a better designer than yesterday. Push your own boundaries. Like I said, you should be your own competition. If you try to compare yourself with others, it will be difficult for you to maintain your originality. So don't focus on what others are doing, or if they're ahead of you in terms of technology, making tech packs, or they know different softwares to make a shoe look better or amazing. Like you can just start with the hand sketches and evolve from that. So don't never like compare yourself with others. Like do your own thing and just try to be a better designer every day. And if you think your idea has a potential, like try to work on it every single day, make it better till you get it right. Just don't get disappointed in between and leave it. So yeah, you might want to take feedback from other people as well, like from professionals if you know any, or from a layman also. Like it is always good to be open to suggestions, because you might end up incorporating some useful ideas into your design. Be updated on the market trend. That is also very important. And attend webinars of people who are from the industry, who are a part of the industry, because I think it's a great way to learn how big minds think and what is the next big thing they're planning, or how they designed a particular project and what was the story behind it. So you have to be like not just sitting on your desk and doing the sketching part like that everybody does. Like you don't want to be a shoe drawer, you have to be an innovator and you have to be creative. You have to keep your mind open to different things and be on social media, see what other brands are doing, see what other designers are doing, like not to copy them directly, but yeah, like just to be updated, like what is the latest trends in the trend in the industry. So that is very important, and I would give that advice, a professional tip, to someone who is just like starting out. Okay, let's see what other question we have. Okay. My future plans, somebody asked me in the chat, I guess. I like taking small steps, and I always make yearly targets. So my next year's target would be to travel a lot, make connections. I pick a lot of stuff when I travel, not physical stuff. I'm not talking about that. The inspiration, I mean, the design aesthetics, the cultural influence of the local designer on their designs, and what the local designers are designing. So yeah, that is my target for the next year, and maybe I'll collaborate with some local designers here in India to gain some more experience. And yes, I'm doing my creative consultancy for apparel side by side. So sneaker designing is like a skill I'm still trying to polish. which I'll focus on next year as well. So that's my future plan for the next year, which let's see, hopefully it works out if this COVID thing subsides. Okay. Oh yeah, one important question which I received on Instagram by someone was how to make connections and approach brands for internships or jobs. Like now, a lot of freshers want to know that, who have no knowledge about the industry or who are not well connected with the industry people. So my advice to them would be that every experience counts, no matter how big or small it is. It is a very valuable experience, like even if it's like small. So don't get into the industry with a mindset of only working with the topmost brands. If you have an opportunity to work with a small brand, take it up. If you have an opportunity to assist someone on a project, like for example, a lot of freelance designers need assistance all the time to create design sketches or tech packs, or even to run around for sampling. So as a student, maybe you can work for them and have a general idea, like what are the different processes and what are the possibilities and limitations of designing. So yeah, you can tap into that and give you 200% and gain some experience and knowledge. Put together a portfolio of your best work. Like as a student, you might not want to compare yourself with people who are already established. Like don't go on Behance and check their portfolio and stuff like that and see, like, say like, okay, I'm not like a good designer. So you have to concentrate on what best you can do. Put together a portfolio, because people who are sitting in the industry, they can actually gauge, even if you make a single line or a basic outline of a shoe, like how good you can be in the future. So they are the people who have interacted with so many designers over the years, students over the years, uh, all across the world, these people sitting in this international brand headquarters. So don't get disappointed by comparing yourself from other people's portfolio. Like put together your own work, and I would suggest in both digital and physical format if you can, whatever best you can do. Try networking with people, create a LinkedIn profile even if you're a student. Keep an eye on the internships and job postings, maybe slide in a message or link on LinkedIn or send them an email. You might get the response late, or not get the response at all, but there is no harm in taking a chance, right? So yeah, you can do that, but you should start building relationships with industry people. It's a close-knit industry. You will meet the same people again and again over the years down the line. So yeah, that is very important. So whatever little bit job you have on hand, be it an internship or a small project, like you're working on as an assistant on some small project, like just do like your best, so that you know these industry people, like when you meet them a few years down the line, they always remember. So that might, like, you can capitalize on that later on. So that's very important. Like what is your attitude, how you look at work is very important. Like no work is small, so you have to like learn with your whole heart and give your 200% and do your best. But just don't start stalking them on social media and LinkedIn. Like just one message is enough. If you don't get the response, like you should just stop there. Don't like bother them like again and again. The idea is to keep the options open, I can say. But also a good way is to attend the sneaker events in your city. So there is SneakerCon, which happens in a lot of cities across the world. There is Seoul DXB in Dubai. There is Seoul Edition in India. So where you not only get to learn a lot as to what is going on in the market and how the brands are thinking, you also get to see the latest trends and also get to interact with the people from the industry. You can gain a lot of knowledge. I mean, the whole vibe and energy of these events is like very inspiring. So if you get the opportunity to attend these events, you should like take it up and do that. Okay. What makes a sneaker marketable? Chanel Paisley has asked me this question. I think it's a very good question, Chanel. So there are a lot of aspects which go into making a sneaker more marketable or more, uh, what do you say, that every consumer wants to own, or it becomes a like the in thing, the trendy thing in the market. So I would say a great storytelling is very important. Like if you design a shoe with just a different material or a different color palette and with a different design and just like put it in the store, Like people just might come and see that shoe, and maybe they like it for the color or the material, but they just might skip it. Some might buy it also. But to be on the edge and to push the boundaries and to make it more marketable, if you have a great story behind it, like for example, maybe it is like 100% biodegradable shoe, or this has been made from sustainable materials. Like Nike is doing a lot of stuff over there, and a lot of other brands, Adidas is also doing a lot of stuff over there, and other brands are also doing. So sustainability is like not a luxury anymore, it has become the core of every brand. So a great storytelling for from marketing perspective is very important. If you cannot convey that story to the consumer, I mean, you might sell a good numbers in that shoe all over the world, but you might not be able to sell like phenomenal numbers if you're talking about marketing strategy or making a shoe marketable. So I think marketing strategy is very important, like how you convey your product story to the consumer. That is very important. So that makes a sneaker marketable. Uh, Price points, obviously, like different countries have different price limitations. Like over here in India, if it's a very expensive shoe, like you can sell it in A cities, but B cities and C cities consumers might not be able to buy it even though they can like it. So then it becomes a restriction. So yes, how well you market your shoes, where are you dropping your shoes is what matters, like if you want your sneaker to be marketable. Okay, we have another question from Harsh. How sneaker brands start with the design process? I think it's a very good question for people who want to know like how the whole designing process happens. So if you are working for a brand, the process involves a number of steps. To start with, you will be given a design brief by your marketing team or the head of the design department. A design brief is a very generic parameter. Like for example, if the sneaker is a jogger or a lifestyle shoe, who's your consumer, etc., etc., etc. So based on this brief, you will have to start your own research, study the market, what is the latest innovation done by the competition brands in the similar category. Also, what is already been done by the brand you are designing for. What were the problems with the earlier products? How can you make the product better by providing solutions through your designs? So yeah, that is the second stage. So once your research is done, which is very important part of any product development, sneaker development. So once your research is done, then begins the fun part, which is my favorite part, is like the ideation, where you put down your initial thoughts. It's like a brainstorming session. So even if you think it's the most ridiculous idea, it is always good to put it down on paper, because you never know how it may eventually evolve. Once your ideation phase is finished, you will have to pull out the best of the ideas and make a final sketch. Now, either you can make a hand sketch or you can just do a digital rendering to make it more closer to the final product. So you can either choose like either of them. And you should have an information tech pack, which may include details about the design, maybe color and material suggestion and all that. Then comes the initial sampling phase, where you'll get to see how your design will interact with the color and materials you suggested, and how it will look physically before it is forwarded to the production department. So the process, particular process, the last one will require a lot of corrections to make your design aesthetically pleasing and also production friendly, which is very important. It has to be scalable. It has to be a scalable design, and it has to be like people should be able to mass produce it. You don't want to make just one sample for yourself, right? Okay, let me check what are the other questions. What type of internships are presented to you after you completed completed the program? So are you talking about the Yellowbrick program? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. So when I got the FIT certificate, it in itself was a big achievement. Like that's like one of the best colleges, and it has it features complex, and it is like partnered with Yellowbrick. So then the certificate in itself was a big thing for me to approach different brands over here in India and for internship. But unluckily, like the lockdown happened when I came back from Pencil Footwear Design Academy, and I have been in touch with a lot of people. So hopefully, when things will ease up, I will definitely get some opportunity in terms of internship to work with some brand and gain some experience. So yeah, I mean, it definitely helps. Like if you're sitting in a US market, it's even like better because all the big brands are over there and the offices are there. Even if you're sitting in Europe, like in Germany and all, like it's better for you. So it's good, like you will get an opportunity if you have an FIT certificate. And yeah. How can students get how can students that are not that artistic create a sneaker brand to be launched? So to launch a sneaker brand, you don't necessarily have to have designing skills or good designing skills, or you have to have that artistic flair. If you're planning to launch your own sneaker brand, you have to have more like entrepreneurial skills, you can say. You have to have that business mindset. So yeah, that is very important. So if you're thinking that you're not an artist and you're not a creative person, how can you launch your own sneaker brand? Those are two different verticals altogether, and I had already covered this up in the beginning of the webinar. So if you can, if you are planning to take this course, and like if you go through all these modules in detail, like you will know like what exactly I'm talking about. Can I email you? I would need more insight and advice about starting a sneaker line, including patents. Patents, I guess you meant. Yes, of course, I'll be sharing my Instagram handle and Yellowbricks also, and their email ID also. So we'll have that conversation later on. I will love to be a designer and producer of sneakers, and I'm very new to this. Where do you think I can start from? Adida Mola Shoyinka. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Um, So to be a sneaker designer, if you're a student right now, you have to practice a lot. Like I said, I mean, obviously you'll have to get a professional degree if you like wholesale want to get into the sneaker industry and join a brand. So professional degree is very, very important besides having good designing skills and everything. So like I said earlier, also like practice, practice and practice. And if you have any issues, like maybe you can just reach out to people and for internships, like wherever you're living, whichever city or country you are in, just tap into the local potential. Like I'm sure you must be having very a lot of local brands, not those big international brands like Nike, Adidas, and Puma, and all these brands. But there are country-specific brands as well, so you can approach them for internships. So over there, you can get a first-hand experience, and then you can decide like if you would want to pursue this professionally and get a professional degree. From which college do you want to study? So yeah, you can do that. It's definitely possible. Okay. I got one question. How did you stay focused with everything going on in your regular life, with everything being online? Okay. I think lockdown did affect everyone in some or the other way. Most of the people were working on Zoom calls, so was I as a creative consultant. And initial few months were difficult, but then one has to learn to adapt, because I think in future this is going to be the new way of living. You don't know like till what time is this going to go on. So you have to learn to adapt. You cannot be rigid about it. And I was staying focused on keeping myself occupied by doing my creative consultancy, like I said, and getting involved with a friend's sneaker business. I also am conducting online classes in my free time to teach aspiring students elementary level sneaker sketching, and there are other stuff which I'm doing like to stay focused. Like you have to be like creatively focused. So I'm writing my own book, which is like in initial stages, and yeah, I'm like learning how to play guitar and all that stuff. So a couple of other things, other creative things besides doing sneaker designing and creative consultancy. Okay. So what inspired you to take this program? I already answered that one in the beginning, but to add to it, I would say the idea of learning something new always is always very exciting for me. Besides, when I was in college, I always wanted to go to FIT for my further education. I even applied long time back and got through, but couldn't go because of lack of funds. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise to become an FIT grad by attending this program online. So yeah, that was the brand FIT was one of the inspiration, you can say, to take up this program. Like it was a dream for me to have an FIT certificate and get an educational degree from them. Okay. Let's see, we have some more questions. How often is the course offered and how long did it take you to complete? I think, okay, Shannon Rafford. Okay, Shannon Rafford has asked this question. So you can enroll in this course at any point of time, and it usually they ask you to finish this course within 1 year's time, but that is a long time for you to be able to finish this course, because even if you're working or a student or you are like doing a night job or anything like that, it gives you that comfort level, because the modules, if you see, they are very very comfortably planned. So even if you like finish one module in 1 month, there are like 6 modules. Normally it takes like 1 or 2 weeks for you to finish the module if you're like uh, dedicating some time on daily basis to it. But even if you're not able to dedicate that much of time, and you are able to finish that course within 1 years of time, I think that is a long time to finish that course. So it will be very comfortable for you to be able to finish this course. So there's no strict deadline as such. The course is very simple, like it's very informative and very easy. Okay, I think I pretty much covered the important points. If I missed out on your questions, please feel free to reach out and DM me on my Instagram. I will respond for sure. If you have any questions about the Yellowbrick Sneaker School program, how to enroll, or the scholarship availability, or any other information which you would want to know, you can either DM Yellowbrick on their Instagram handle, yellowbrick.sneakers, or email Brianne on brianne@sneakers.fitnyc.edu. I'm going to share my and Yellowbrick's sneaker Instagram page handles and the email ID. If you want, you can just write it down somewhere or simply can take a screenshot. Okay, 1 second. So this is my Instagram handle. If you have any queries which you think are left out and I was not able to see on the Q&A section, or I was not able to answer, you can always DM me on Disha_Sneakerschool. I will make sure that I respond. If you have any queries regarding the program, like how to start, when to start, or if you have any scholarship related queries or any other queries, you can always DM yellowbrick.sneakers, or you can always email brian@sneakers.fitnyc.edu. This has been my journey so far, and from dissecting frogs, rabbits, and earthworms in the biolab to deconstructing sneakers. So yeah, before I end, I would like to thank everyone for joining me tonight, and it was a great interaction. And I hope you got the information you were looking for. I would also want to thank Rock Kingians, David Anderson Jr. and Sarah Mullins for providing me with this opportunity to speak with you all on their platform. So it was a wonderful opportunity for me to interact with you guys and share my views on the sneaker industry and sneaker school program. And last but not the least, Kristen Richardson for making this webinar happen. Thank you so much. So yeah, I think you all took the screenshots and everything. You can also like drop in your Instagram handles in the chat box. I'll make sure I'll follow you guys and you can follow each other as well. It's a good way to connect with each other. Yeah. Okay, people, so I'm going to sign off now and it's kind of late here. What about you guys? Like, what are you going to do? I mean, pick up a pencil and start already. Like, haven't I motivated you enough? Stay safe, everybody, and wherever in the world you are from. And thank you once again for joining. And I hope New Year brings peace and positivity to all of us. You guys have a great year ahead and great day ahead as well. Bye.